So we're gonna see some SQL queries, some SQL statements now. So we already finished our project from the last video, and in the query database we have the results set to a statement that execute query. So we have the select asterisk from sports.players. So if we click here in the run Java, what we are gonna get is gonna be the user ID, the country, sport. So we have 4 columns, as well as, well, you can see 5 rows, including the user ID. For example, here we have the user ID, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what we are gonna see right now, and you can also see it from your workbench. So we're gonna see some SQL keywords that is gonna be select, from, where, group by, order by, inner join, insert, update, delete. So the select, as we are seeing it right here, the select retrieves data from one or more tables. We also have from, okay, the tables involved in the query require in every select. We also have the where, okay, so we have where, and we're gonna see an example right now. So create criteria for selection that determine the rows to be retrieved, deleted, or updated, optional in SQL query or a SQL statement. We also have the group by, criteria for grouping rows, optional in a select query. We also have order by, so criteria for ordering rows. We have inner join, merge rows from multiple tables, insert rows into a specified table. We already saw that. Update rows in a specified table. Delete rows in a specified table. So for example, we can see, we can close this one, and let's just put double quotes. So double forward slash. So we made it a comment, and here we have select, okay, but here we have the column user ID. So we have select from the column user ID. So from this column user ID, okay, the column country as well, the column country. So user ID in the column country. From the sports that player, okay, so we are selecting only 2 columns, okay. As you can see, we only selected the user ID, the country, okay. So the basic select query, okay, select the SQL queries extract information from the database. In this case, the database is sports. No, the database is sports, but the table is players, okay. So is pretty much, let me put it like that. So we have select, okay, select from, well, asterisk from, and then the table name in this case would be players, as you can see here. Now you're seeing this asterisk here. So the asterisk is the wildcard character, okay, wildcard character that indicates that all columns from the table name should be retrieved, okay. So for example, if I go right here, so all the columns are being retrieved, but if we only want, like in this case, we only wanted only 2, right? So the user ID, the country. So let's see just only the country. So we can just delete this, save it. So we are selecting the column country. We're not using the wildcard, the asterisk. From the sports is the database that player. So we are using that format, and we click it, and we only gonna get the country that is going to be used, Russia, China, and India. So what happens if we only put just the table but not the database? So we save it, and we're gonna get an error. So we need the table sports that player. So we need the database that the table name, okay. So we can save it now. Let's see what else do we have. That's pretty much. So we are selecting, as you can see, we are selecting this keyword selecting, and then from, selecting from. So we are selecting this column from. Okay, we can, let me see, put another example. Okay, so we have this one. So select country from sports.players, so database tables. Okay, this is the database, this is the tables where the idiom is English. So we are gonna go into the column country. So we're gonna get into this country, okay, into this column. So we have USA, Russia, China, and India. Okay, so where the idiom is English, so where this let me see where where this column in the column idiom is English, so we should get USA. So let me see, let's click it, and as you can see we get USA. So now when we are selecting from the column country from the database sports, where from the tables players where the idiom is set to Russian. Okay, so save it. Okay, and we're gonna get Russia when Chinese, Chinese, and we're gonna get China. Okay, so basic examples. Okay, so but we get the idea. What else? Let me see. The word clause. This is pretty much the word clause. So in most cases it's necessary to locate rows in a database that satisfies certain selection criteria. Only rows that satisfies the selection criteria, that is formally called predicates, are selected. SQL uses the optional where clause in a query to specify the selection criteria for the query. Okay, so in the basic form of a query is select, and then we're gonna have the column name from the table name where the criteria. So let me put it something like this. So we should get like this, select, and then we should get the column. So we should get the column name like that, column name. So this is just very general. Let me see, from, okay, this from the table, let me see, table name, the table name. Okay, then we're using the clause where, and then the criteria. Okay, so this is just an example. Okay, so for example we have, let me see, let me make a comment with double forward slash. So let's see this one. Okay, select the column idiom from the sports.player where the user ID is set to 4. Okay, so we are selecting, let me delete this. So we are selecting from the column idiom when the user ID is 4. Okay, so we should get Hindi. Okay, let me see, let's set it. And as you can see, Hindi. So if we set it to, I don't know, 2, we should get, what was 2 would be right. Okay, we're gonna get Russian. Okay, so let me see. We should get Russian. That's fine. So basic examples. What else? So we had that. We can also do order by clause, so we can select that, and let's see this. So this example, so we are selecting the user ID, the country, the sport. So we are selecting 3 columns: the user ID, country, and sport. Well, 4 columns, and also the column, the idiom. So we are selecting the 4 columns from the sports.players, but now we are ordering in ascending order. So we can see how that's gonna play. And now we have 3, 4, 2, 1. As you can see, it's in ascending order. So we have 1 USA, baseball, English, and then we have the 2 Russia, hockey, all the stuff. So, and if we do it in descending order, it's gonna be as the previous one. So it's gonna be in descending order. Save it, Now it's gonna change. Instead of starting at 3, it's gonna instead of starting at 3 4 2 1, it's gonna be 1 2 3 4. Okay, so let's see it. As you can see, this is pretty much the normal. Okay, so these are some examples that we are seeing. We're gonna see more in the next videos.